Hello, my name is Kristen Manhart, and today I'm going to be doing a video on muscle movements. Let's get started. The first muscle we are going to talk about today is the trapezius. The three main movements of the trapezius are to elevate and superiorly rotate the scapula, retract the scapula, and depress the scapula. It is concentric motion and a forceful movement. The joint name is the glenohumeral joint. Its origin is the superior nuchal line of the occipital bone, the ligamentum nuchae, and spinous processes C7 through T12. It inserts on the clavicle, acromion process, and spine of scapula. The next muscle is the biceps brachii. Its main movement is to flex the forearm. It is concentric motion and a forceful movement, and the joint name is the elbow joint. It originates on the long head supraglenoid tubercle of scapula and short head coracoid process of scapula, and it inserts in the radial tuberosity of the bicipital aponeurosis. The next muscle is the triceps brachii. The main movement is the primary extension of the forearm. It is eccentric motion and a stretching movement. It's also the elbow joint, and it originates on the long head of the infraglenoid tubercle of the scapula and the short head posterior radial groove, and it inserts on the olecranon of the ulna. The latissimus dorsi. Its main movement is extending the arm. It is an eccentric motion, a stretching movement. The joint name is the glenohumeral joint. It originates on the spinous processes of T7 through T12, ribs 8 through 12, the iliac crest, the thoracolumbar fascia, and it inserts on the intertubercular groove of the humerus. Next we have the gastrocnemius. Its main movement is to flex the leg and plantar flexes the foot. It is a concentric motion and a forceful movement, and the joints are the knee and ankle joints. It originates at the superior and posterior surfaces of the lateral and medial condyles of the femur, and it inserts on the calcaneus via the calcaneal tendon. Then we have the extensor digitorum longus. It extends toes 2 through 5 and dorsiflexes the foot. It is an eccentric motion and stretching movement. The joint is the ankle joint. It originates at the lateral condyle of tibia, anterior surface of fibula, and the interoserous membrane, and it inserts in the distal phalanges of toes 2 through 5. Then we have the flexor carpi radialis. It flexes the wrist and abducts the hand. It is a concentric motion and forceful movement. The joint is the wrist joint. It originates in the medial epicondyle of the humerus and inserts at the base of the metacarpals 2 and 3. Then we have the palmaris longus. It flexes the wrist. It is a concentric motion and a forceful movement. It is associated with the wrist joint. It originates at the medial epicondyle of the humerus, and it inserts at the flexor retinaculum and palmar aponeurosis. Then we have the tibialis anterior. It dorsiflexes the foot and inverts the foot. It is concentric motion. It is a forceful movement. The joint name is the ankle joint. It originates at the lateral condyle and proximal shaft of the tibia and the interosseous membrane, and it inserts at the metatarsal 1 and first medial cuneiform. The deltoid, its main movement is to flex and medially rotate the arm. That is the anterior fibers. The middle fibers abduct the arm, and the posterior fibers extend and laterally rotate the arm. It is concentric and eccentric, forceful and stretching. It is the glenohumeral joint. The deltoid originates at the acromial end of the clavicle, acromion, and some of the scapula, and it inserts at the deltoid tuberosity of the humerus. Finally, we have the flexor pollicis longus. It flexes the MP joint of the thumb, the IP joint of the thumb, and weakly flexes the wrist. It is concentric motion and forceful movement. The joint names are MP and IP joints. It originates at the anterior shaft of the radius and the interosseous membrane, and it inserts in the distal phalanx of the thumb. That is all I have for the muscle movement video today. Thank you for watching.